Christmas time again, which means that it's time for Vivek Ramaswamy to try to tell us all we're not good enough Americans and try again to lose the Ohio governor's election next year. Let's get into it. Weigh in, as I am an Ohio citizen and I am very concerned that Vivek not only might not win the election next year, but he might not even have my best interest in mind as an American if he does win. So if you can support we Ohioans who have Midwestern, mid-wit, mid-looking men and women who need a good governor, please like, share, and subscribe. Let's get into what he said and what the reaction is about another Christmas crash
our nation. So Vivek is saying that he fully endorses what is called the creedal view of America. If you believe in the ideals of America, and if you check a box, you become naturalized as a citizen, then you are an American. It has nothing to do with heritage, the people you come from, your family's history here. And look, there's obviously a creedal aspect to the country. So he's getting at something that is partially true. For a little bit of context about exactly what Vivek is saying now about America, he is essentially making the case that America is an idea, and if you withhold to the certain auspices of that idea that you are a good American regardless of your heritage, your background, your lineage, your ethnicity, or where you came from in the world. And for a little context, here's Michael Knowles explaining some of his points. What about the guy who lives in West Virginia? What about the guy who lives anywhere in the middle of America, whose family's been here forever? Maybe they were on the Mayflower, maybe they came around the Revolution, maybe they came in the Civil War, maybe they came 100 years ago, but they've been Americans for many, many generations. Guy loves his American flag. He eats hot dogs on the 4th of July. His kids are all American. Everybody, he loves his country. But maybe he doesn't believe in absolute freedom of expression or something like that, which, as I argue in my book, Speechless, is not really part of the Americans' free speech tradition. Oh, thank you very much. I actually forgot about my bell. Yes. That, this belief in total freedom of expression, that's not really the American free speech tradition.
Vivek does have one part of it right. America does have a propositional idea at its center, but it also has a group of Americans who are of the heritage of the country. So it's not just an idea, it is also a place. And if those certain peoples who grew up in America, who have been in America for generations, don't withhold to the ideas, that does not make Vivek Ramaswamy more American than them.
Hey, congratulations, you played yourself.
Many people online are making the point that Vivek Ramaswamy nor anyone of his lineage was on the boats coming to America, and you can see some of the anonymous people on Twitter making the case that the American heritage makes the American citizen. Look at a couple of these here. Now, there's also people like Raw Egg Nationalist and some others who actually claim who they are online that are making the case, like Alex Torba, that in fact Vivek Ramaswamy has the idea wrong, and if he wants to continue to beat this drum that America is only an idea and not a people, not a geography, not a land, not a culture, then he will continue to move closer and closer to losing the election in Ohio, which is part of the reason why the Ohio Republican Party felt the need to put out this tweet.
You're doing it? Stop it. Get some help.
Vivek Ramaswamy is walking a dangerous line because he is dissuading people from his home state of Ohio, which he was born and raised in Cincinnati, to his credit. That's why the Ohio Republican Party felt the need to make that defense today or yesterday, because his article in the New York Times makes it seem as if he is discouraging those heritage Americans from really being able to fully jump on board his train. And while he did this at Christmas last year, where he said, if you watch Saved by the Bell and you have sleepovers, you will be beaten out by the people who are performing under H-1B visas because they are working harder than you. I understand his premise, but I just have to decline because America has been outperforming all of those places where those H-1B visitors are coming from for a lot of years, and we still manage to have sleepovers, to watch Saved by the Bell, and to venerate the high school football player and the high school cheerleader. And so some of what we have as a recipe for the American heritage, the American success story, does have some refutation of what those H-1B visitors are bringing to us, because if they were so good at operating under the auspices of working hard and outpacing people and studying and things like that, their countries would be outpacing ours. And while America has the global reserve currency, and that might have something to do with it, the American heritage idea and the American heritage, which is a people, have a recipe which has been the Pax Americana for the last 80 years. And until it's Pax Pakistan or Pax India or Pax China, we will still continue to believe that the American heritage, along with the ideas of the American founding, are the best that are available in the world. And that is what it means to be an American. That is what it means to be a nationalist. And that's what, in large part, when Ruth came to the Israelites, she assimilated by saying, your God will be my God and your people will be my people. And until we see some of that action from those who would claim that their countries of origin or their heritage countries are better than ours, until we see some of that type of assimilation, I'm afraid what it means to be an American will still be based on a people, a land, and an idea. And Vivek, I pray that you can get that right if you plan to win Ohio. I can do it with you. I can help you. I've knocked doors for other candidates in the past. I'd be happy to do so for you if you can get not just the American idea, but the American people right definitionally. And if you'd like to get it right definitionally, please like, share, and subscribe. I'd love your support.